Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. And for all my American viewers out there, which I'm sure is probably most of you, happy 4th of July, guys. And for all my non-American viewers out there, well, happy July 4th. But we're not here to talk about America's birthday today. No, we're here to talk about Classroom of the Elite Season 2. And boy, I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys. I was not ready this morning. I'm so tired. And there's so much information. I'm just being completely honest. I'm so tired and I was not ready to get slapped in the face with all this dialogue. But I'm very, very excited that we finally get season 2 of this series. And before I even begin, I'm sure many of you have noticed, but things aren't going to be like season 1, guys. They're not. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to be the same as season 1 right off the bat from watching today's episode. That's all I'll say. We'll leave it at that. But let's get into Classroom of the Elite Season 2, Episode 1. So right off the bat, our literal first scene of the show is the Student Council President, Horikita's brother, if you guys remember from Season 1. He's being told the results of the island test that we had that also ended in Season 1. And right away, he knows who won. He said Class D. Class D won. And he wonders to himself, I wonder what that man's next move will be. Because he knows right away that the class that Ayanokojis in won. Now let's talk about Ayanokojis for a second. Ooh man. How do you really describe Ayanokojis? Manipulative, cold, calculating, and a genius. This man, oh boy. He's crazy. He's a crazy character, guys. Let's just say that. And right off the bat, we see him looking over his class, Class D. And we see all our familiar faces from Season 1. And he thinks, oh, what a lively day. Everyone's having fun and all that. He gets approached by Hirata, which I'm sure you all remember from Season 1. And he says, hey, Ayanokojis, why don't you come sit and talk to me for a bit, Why don't we invite Kei with us, too, Why don't we all just go sit and have a good time? Now, if you guys don't remember, Ayanokojis and Kei don't really get along too well. It's not that he dislikes her, but she very much dislikes him. And the second she approaches them and sees that he's gonna be with her and Hirata, who are dating, if I remember correctly from Season 1, that she doesn't want to be a part of it. And let me just say, I'm sure you guys have noticed by now, but Kei is gonna be a very important character moving forward in the series. I'm sure you all have noticed that. Just keep her in mind. Keep her in mind throughout the series. And right off the bat, literally right from the jump, we get thrusted into yet another test set forth by the school, where they divide the classes up, actually. The people in the class and the classes themselves, they divide up, and they have them all go to a room. And we see 4 characters from Class D all in a room together. Ayanokojis and Kei are a part of the same group too. Yet again, keep that in mind. Now, they all get assigned a certain kind of test. And you guys gotta bear with me. This was so much information all at once. I'm gonna try my best to accurately get it all for you guys. So, they're all divided into 8 separate, discrete groups, actually, with people from each class. That's including Class D, C, B, and A. So we have people from every class, all in one group, and they're separated into 8 discrete classes, all of which represent a planet. Now, the group that Ayanokojis and Kei are in is the Mars group. Now, everyone in the group, regardless of their class assignment, they are all considered one group, and they all get tested the same. And, oh boy, this is a lot to take in. They have over a 3-day period they will be doing this event. And at 8 a.m. on the first day, the school will send them an email declaring someone in the group a VIP. Now, during these 3 days, the group will meet together twice a day to discuss who the VIP is. Twice a day, they will meet together and discuss this. And the goal of these discussions is for them to figure out who the VIP is. Now, 30 minutes after the 6th discussion, so on the 3rd day, 30 minutes after that, every group will send their answers into the school about who they decide the VIP is of the group. Now, everyone in the group can send in one answer. Besides the VIP, they cannot send in any answer whatsoever. Because obviously it's them. They can't say, oh, it's me, you know? And with this situation, there are 4 cases that can happen. Only 4 planes of action that can happen. Case 1 is if every member of the group is able to guess the VIP. Yeah, if every member of the group, besides the VIP and the VIP's classmates, which means if the VIP is in class C or something, they and their group from their class do not count. If everyone in the group can guess them right, besides those involved, everyone in the class gets 500 personal points. Now, if you remember, these personal points are your lifeblood in this series. They literally represent your worth in this series. So getting 500,000 is ridiculous. That's literally $500,000 every person is getting. That is a ton of money. So obviously option 1 sounds pretty good, right? And in that situation, the VIP of that situation gets another 500,000. So they actually get 1,000,000 points altogether. So yeah, option 1 is sounding pretty good. Now, case 2 is if everyone in the group, besides one person, gets it right, and that one person gets it wrong, then only the VIP gets the 500,000 personal points. So in that case, if someone gets it wrong for everyone, only the VIP gains from the situation. But in that situation, if you attempt to expose who the VIP is before your 3 days are up, it leads to cases 3 and 4. And if that happens, you can give your answers at any time during the period and in the 30-minute period after the 6th sit down with the classes. But if you get it wrong, there will be a big penalty. And this leads us into case 3. Now, if that person gives their answer before the end of the testing period is over, and they get it right, them and their entire class will get 50 class points, which, if you remember in our series, is huge. That's how you elevate your classes to different ranks. So getting 50 points out of that would be huge for any class. And the person in that situation who guesses it right gets 500 personal points to themselves. So honestly, it's not that terrible of an idea. But here's the catch. If the VIP is actually in that person's group, then their answer is invalid. Meaning that if someone from Class A guesses that someone else in Class A is the VIP, then their answer is automatically invalid. And this leads us into case 4, where it's the same thing, but if that person who guesses or tries to guess the VIP in the time frame guesses wrong, then their class loses 50 points and the VIP gains 500,000 personal points. On top of the VIP's class gaining 50 points. Class points. So, it's a lot of information, guys. And at that point, once the incorrect answer is done, then the test is over. The test is over for that group. And on top of that, if the wrong answer comes from the VIP's group, so say it's someone from Class A, and someone from Class A guesses wrong, then it's automatically invalid and the test will continue. as planned. Now, this is a lot of information to take in, guys. Even I had to go back and go through this again, because there really is a lot to follow. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cuts in the video. I apologize, but it was just so much information. I wanted to make sure I had it completely accurate for you guys. Now, in our next scene, we see Ayanokojis meeting up with Horikita, actually, to discuss the plan a bit. Because, as we know, they're kind of on each other's sides, but they're really not in this situation, you know? But they do confirm with each other whether they are the VIP or not, and they are both not the VIP. And while they're sitting there talking with each other, actually, they get approached by Ryun. Now, Ryun flat out asks Horikita, like, are you the VIP? And obviously she says, why would I answer that? And he's interested in her because of the plan that was enacted on the island. He says that was an extremely complicated plan, and I don't think someone like you could figure that out, Horikita. I don't think a dainty girl like you could do something like that. And he wants to figure out who's pulling her strings. And apparently he doesn't think it's Ayanokojis. Because Horikita always plays him off like, oh, he's a bumbling idiot, but, you know, he's the closest I've come to a friend here at this school. I don't really have friends, and he's the closest I've come to. And let me just say, guys, Ayanokojis is an evil genius. We'll leave it at that for right now. Ryun seems to think he knows what Class A and B are capable of. He says to himself, like, I have a general idea of what Katsuragi and Ichinose are capable of right now. I know their limits. I have my sights set on Class D, who I haven't determined what their limits are yet. And he leaves them with those parting words. So now we transition to our group, Ayanokojis' group. And they have quite an eclectic group of characters. We have 4 characters from Class D. We have 3 characters from Class A. We have 3 characters from Class C. And we only have 2 characters from Class B. But we have Ichinose in the class with Ayanokojis. And she kind of takes the reins immediately in the conversation, saying how if no one else wants to do it, I'll be the moderator. And let me just say, Ichinose is very slick. In this series, one word of advice, guys, so I'm sure you know if you've seen Season 1. Always expect who you wouldn't expect. I'll leave you with those words. And she tries to gear the class towards the first case, which is they all work together to figure out what's happening, so everyone gets points. And the VIP will get double points. But everyone will still benefit at the end of the day. And it's in this moment that the people from Class A, they decide to not participate at all. Because they've determined that, in their opinion, that the most beneficial thing for us would actually be to not participate at all. So they go off on the side. They're not a part of the conversation whatsoever. They decide not to be. Now, I'm going to spare you guys going into every detail of why Class A doesn't want to be a part of it and why Ichinose chose Case 1, because there's a lot of details. You guys can watch the episodes yourself. This could easily be like an hour-plus video of me breaking down everything, but this is a series that you can get lost in the details in, so I'll spare you guys that. I will say, though, that they do suspect that there is an even number of VIPs distributed throughout each group for fairness, so that one group doesn't have multiple VIPs. That's what they suspect, at least. We don't have concrete proof of that, but they suspect that they're all spread out evenly throughout the groups. Now, we do get an interesting scene, actually, where after their meeting, they're all going about their business. And we see Kay actually get approached by the 3 Class C girls, and they accuse her of bullying someone from their class, actually. Which she, of course, denies, but they keep pressuring because she said, no, it's someone from Class D that has a ponytail and is always on their phone. And they try to take a picture of her, like incessantly, like get in her face and try to take a picture of her. And we see Ayanokoji watching this scene actually unfold. He's just standing off to the side watching this. And the whole thing gets broken up by the head guy for Class A, actually. And Kay starts to charm him a little bit. You know, we see him blush after she thanks him. And then we cut back over to Ayanokojis watching the whole scene. And keep this in mind, guys. I wanted to mention that, but keep this in mind. In this scene, they actually, when they try to take her picture, I forgot to mention earlier that Ryun takes Horikita's picture during their encounter. Now, this will play a part into the show later on, just to let you guys know. It's not just, oh, they want to just take a picture of them for no reason. You got to remember every little detail. Now, we actually transition back to the second meeting on the first day. And, you know, everyone's a little on edge still. Class A still isn't participating. And Ichinose suggests that, you know, why don't we all just start talking with each other? You know, why don't we break down the shell that's all around us? Let's not be so spaced out. Let's talk a bit with each other. You know, try to feel each other out. Get some information. And our final scene of the episode is actually us going to Kay in the shower. And we see that she's crying. And you might wonder to yourself, how will this be relevant? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, this was a lot of information for episode 1. A lot of information. I apologize if there's like an insane amount of cuts, but I wanted to make sure we had the complete situation. I wanted to make sure I had it completely explained for you guys so we know. Because this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. But what did you think about the series, guys? You know, this is our first time having the show back since, what, 2016? It's been years. It's so nice to have this show back. This show is such a great show, you know? It's a very, very good show. And I can't wait to go over it with you guys. So you guys let me know in the comments what you thought of the first episode of Season 2. How do you think things are going to play out? I'm very curious to read some comments. Now, if you read the light novels like me, I don't want you to go down there and be like, well, actually, this happened. Don't do that. Come on, let's have some fun here. But let me know what you guys think. But that'll be it for today's episode, guys, you know? Great way to start off the series, albeit a lot of information. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day today. And until next time, just have a blessed day and smile, guys. I'll see you later.